Joe Easton has a preview of the day ahead in terms of stocks in focus. Joe, good morning. Let's start then with Philips and some numbers that were pretty different to estimates.
That's right, Anna. So it's looking like a really strong report in terms of those initial numbers from Philips, which is, of course, the Dutch-listed consumer health tech giant. So they're reporting EBITDA, a key profit number, of around 650 million euros. That's almost double what some analysts were expecting. And their margins are really strong at around 12% versus 8% expected. We'll have to go back and double check those analyst estimates, but it is looking very good. They are, however, still reporting a net loss, and like many companies that we've seen over the past few weeks, they're reporting some job cuts as well. Around 6,000 potential job cuts, around 8% of their workforce that amounts to. The big issue for Philips at the moment is, you'll remember last year they actually recalled one of their sleep devices, their sleep apnea devices. These are essentially face masks that you wear to help with your sleep. They've had to recall those, and they've now set aside almost €1 billion just in case penalties come for those. But as we said, at the moment we're looking like pretty strong on those numbers for Philips.
And now change at the top of Unilever. The Alan Jope, who's still there at the moment until the summer. He's been there for around 4 years, but now we know the name of who takes over. That's one of the stories, isn't it, in focus?
That's right. So Heinz Schumacher is coming in at Unilever, the maker of Ben & Jerry's, Dove soap, Hellmann's mayonnaise, all those big brands. So he's going to come in on July 1st after around a 1-month handover period, according to the company. Now, the big news, obviously, last year for Unilever was their attempt to buy that GlaxoSmithKline health unit. That was kind of pushed back on by investors and analysts. That £50 billion deal didn't go through. And as you mentioned, we're seeing Alan Jope step down. We'll have to see what the new CEO does in order to try and build back some growth over at Unilever.
And what do we expect to see in the Shell story today then? We heard a little bit about this from our colleague Will Kennedy earlier.
That's right, so Shell today announcing a bit of a restructuring, it sounds like. So they're integrating some of their gas and upstream businesses, and also some of their renewables components as well. They say it won't affect how they report financial results. And on that note, we are expecting to see Shell's results on Thursday. Analysts potentially expecting them to increase their share buyback, even as some of those oil numbers come back down, given the oil price is not as strong as it was. The one story I want to point you to finally is on Rio Tinto, so staying in the commodity space. Apparently Rio Tinto has lost a radioactive capsule in the Western Australian desert. You kind of have to feel sorry for them. I sometimes forget where I've put my car keys. I think we've all been there. But yeah, this is a bizarre story worth checking out. This capsule is around 8 millimetres in size, and it's on the highway in the Australian desert somewhere. Have a look at that one on the terminal.
If you are there in Western Australia, keep your eyes peeled for that one. Joe, thank you very much. Our equities reporter, Joe Easton.